Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're gonna get some makeup on this thing, and I'm just literally gonna do my everyday makeup or something like that, very close to. So let me just talk you through it, and then I'm ready to go to the pub. So this morning I was of course doing my general whatever washing you do in the bathroom. And then I put on some serum that is Pure and Care 2% BHA peeling serum, and it looks like this. It's not a lot left, so it will, I think that's for a day or something like that, so it will probably be changed. That one is followed by the Estee Lauder Day Wear. And that is my usual one. I also have the eye cream in it, so that's my usually one. That's also very close to finishing. And yeah, so I need my glasses here on and off all the time to read what's actually on the products, because yeah, that's it. However, in all our products, that be foundation, that be cream, that be a lot of stuff, there are SPFs in it, but I don't know if you can see, I have quite some sun damages around, and that's because when I was younger I did believe that was the only sun protection SPF that I needed. Getting older, I could definitely see that is not the case, so I every day use SPF. I use the Vicky 50% 50 SPF. I have some with color in it and some without color in it, and that's because that on a lazy day like this, where I'm actually been makeup free all day, I might just put on some of this one with a bit of color in it, because then it can kind of smooth out, a little like a CC cream or something like that. It can smooth out, and then it looks like that you're not all makeup free. So yeah, but I also does have the general white one or non-colored one that I usually use under makeup. So but let me put on the one with a bit of color in it, and let me show what I mean with but it's almost working like CC cream, so you can wear it if you're just around the house or going to a neighbor or whatever. Yeah, so let's start with this one. I don't use an awful lot of it, then I rather add more, so I use like around this much, and that usually take most of the face. So I have the mirror here, so I need to be a little bit on the side, but as you can see, it does give some color immediately. It can be a little bit difficult to get evened out with the color in it, so I just take my time and even it all out. And sometimes I might even use a brush or what do you call them, a sponge to get it evened out. But normally I just do it with my hands here to just get it all put out. But this one does go a long way, so I will recommend you to use just a little, and then just in case that you need more, then add a little bit, a couple of droplets more, and then evening it out, so that so you don't get too much on, because then it can become cakey, particularly under the foundation and everything else. So this will be, I put it up here over the eyes as well. That's just because I'm pretty hysterical with my SPF at this stage, so I'm just putting it all over. Particularly if you're not using it instead of foundation on a makeup free day, you would want to even it out. I have the medium color. I don't have any SPF or what do you call it, fake tan on at the moment, so it might be a little bit dark for me. But normally when I have SPF on, nonsense, fake tan on, you can't see the SPF will be melting into that color, and it will have the same color. So as you can see, it have now been evened out, and It does give a covering up the worst of everything. So just to give a little bit of a smooth face. So I would definitely go to the local shop or whatever with this. I would. Now it does color your hands, so I have some tissues over here in the back that I just used to get it off my fingers again, so that I don't get it on my clothes. As you can see, it does indeed color your hands, so just make sure I don't get it on my clothing. After the SPF, I'm going in with the primer, and the primer I'm using at the moment is the Nivea Luminous Primer. It does have some SPF in it, but I don't trust that's enough on my skin, and I just take a single pump, not a lot, and then just put it all over, so that I kind of get a good long-lasting base for my makeup. And again, less is more, so I'm just not using an awful lot, and if I feel like I don't get it all over, I can just take another. Once I have put this one on, I'm moving in with the foundation, and the foundation I'm using at the moment is called Ripple 25, well, SPF 25. It is nude, and they are calling it lasting finish and long lasting. It does hold up pretty well. So I'm doing my foundation with a brush, but that's for this one. Sometimes I use a sponge, but this time I find this one going better on with a pencil, with a brush. I'm taking about one pump, and that's so there. Not an awful lot, because again, I does find that it covers a lot better. And since I already have the, what do you call it, the tinted SPF on beneath it, I really don't need an awful lot of foundation to cover up the rest. It's just to give it a little bit to even out and give a uniform color all over. So yeah, it's really just for the finishing touch. So this foundation is buildable, in case you're wondering. You can totally, and on the days where I'm using the non-tinted foundation, I will be needing a little bit of more coverage, but as you can see, it is covering fine. But I also have the colored SPF under, so it's medium coverage, I think. But yeah, it is buildable. So in case you might need a little bit of extra coverage, don't worry about it. You can totally do that. I does, since I have my hair up in a bun most of the time, just to get it out of my face, I do just take around my ears, because I don't really think it looks good if you have like a line of makeup going around. My scary example, so I had an aunt. Unfortunately, she's passed away now, but she used like a really heavy face, and I just remember growing up that you could see that she was just stopping right here. So I had like a really heavy face here, and then down here that was just all white and nothing. So I'm always going around my ears just a bit, and then down my neck a bit. Now this is a high neck, so it won't really matter much, but if in case I'm with a V-neck or low neck, I will take it down a bit more, just to give a uniform color. Again, if I'm wearing my fake tan, as I'm not at the moment, but then it doesn't really, it does even out better. But at the moment, it's just, as you can probably see, all white down here. So yeah, I don't want to show out any lines, so I'm just taking it down a bit. After this one, I'm going in with my concealer, and that's Maybelline Illuminous, I think it's called. Maybelline Fit Me. So yeah, and it's I can't really see the color on it. So let's just see. No, I can't see the color. But try on when you go into to buy, if you're uncertain with the colors on that be foundation or anything. You can try on your hand, but just when you have tried on your hand, leave it for like a few seconds, because they very often change color when they're oxygenating or getting in oxygen. They're very often when they might change color, so just leave it on your hand for a while. The best place to swap is on your cheat, but I personally never does that. I don't know about you, but I don't want to run around doing my shopping with like swaps of concealer or whatever in my neck. I just don't. So my concealer is just put in here at the eyes and just around under the eyes, just to give a little bit of lighting up in here, and then to bring a little bit of concealing the dark circles. Then I give a little bit on my nose and a little bit up here in the T-zone. Now I should probably mention that my skin is pretty even. I'm using the same brush, by the way. I have a pretty normal skin. I don't have huge pores, and I have a little bit of more like oily skin in the T-zone, particularly around the nose and up the forehead and down the chin. But I am okay, lucky with that. When it comes to under the eyes and up in the corner here, I'm using my finger. I just find that gives the best blend to get all the way in the corner of the eyes without any ugly lines or something. So I'm just using my finger, but you can use a sponge as well. You can use whatever you're pleasing you, but with this one I just feel that it's blending better if I'm using my finger. The most important thing is to get it evened out so you don't have any cakes or anything sitting. Anyway, particularly under your eyes where your skin is so sensitive, you don't want it to pull down and create lines of any kind. So yeah, at this stage I'm going in with my lip balm, and that's again, sorry, I need the glasses to read what it says. Calypso lip balm, again 30% SPF. And it's really moisturizing, this one, so I'm just gonna give a bit to be under the lipstick coming up later. So yeah, that was the base done, but it's now also so evened out, so I want to put some definitions back into it. I'm not using a lot of contour, but I am using a little bit. When I was younger I didn't contour at all, but yeah, that's what happens when you get older, I guess. So my bronzer is Flomar bronzer powder. It's called Face and Body. Now I wouldn't bronze my body, but yeah, there we go. And it's like a big punch, as you can see. I've been using this one for like a year or so, but there's still a lot in it. It will last me a lot longer than just this time. I'm using a brush who's have a little bit of a pointed end to it. I just feel that gives me a better control of the bronzer. And I'm putting them, I do like this, and then I get my cheekbone, and then I just put it on top of my cheekbone like this. Not a lot, but a bit. And then I just take the rest was on the brush, and then just put it around the edges of my hair here, just to bring in a little bit of definition of a sun-kissed area. Just had to answer the phone there. So Where were we? Oh yeah, the bronzer. So I'm just evening it out again, just to give a little bit of a definition, and then just take the extra here up along the hairline, just to give a little bit of a definition. Let me just see in the mirror here. I don't think I got enough on over here. So I also do a little bit, not much, and then does just along the ear and down on the chin or the jaw, just to give again a little bit of a definition. I don't use a lot, just a little bit to touch up. Some call it the famous E, when you are like up from the top, down and down. It looks like an old-fashioned E, so a lot of people call it that. So I'm just giving a little bit of a contour there, just to make the cheekbones and the sides here just a little bit more visible, just to put in a little bit of a definition. And then switch into a lot smaller brush with a little bit of an angle on, and I just dip just as gentle to the bronzer, and then I put down along my nose bone, just again to put in a little bit of a definition. You know, they say dark is pulling things back and light is pulling it forward, and this one is just making sure my nose look a little bit slimmer than it is. I also put down along my nostrils, just a little bit down my nostrils again, just to take the whiteness off a bit. So as you can see, it brings just a little bit of definition back into to my face, and that's really all I use for bronzer. So they're gonna last long. So the next thing is of course some rouge. I am using the Dew blusher from W7. It looks like this, and as you can see, it have like two colors in it, a lighter and a darker one. I'll be going in with this one. Be careful, because this one is really coloring a lot. Again, I'm using a little bit of a angled brush to just pick up a little bit, very gentle, just tapping down and then getting rid of the excess. And then I'm literally just smiling and putting it on my bones like this. And then I brush it out, the other side of the brush to brush it out, so that it don't become that visible. I does take it up to around the hairline, just to bring in a little bit of definition and a little bit of color into my face. Not a lot, just a little slidey tiny bit here, not to make it too excessive. And I does take it down a bit in color, so that it don't become too exaggerated. I do think that if you have too much on your cheek, you reminded me a little bit about the women you were seeing in the previous century. Some who had like big, round, very red-ish cheeks who were just like coming out. Really, really excessive. So I'm just taking it down a bit, so it don't become that much, and yet have a little bit of definitions like so. That's it for the blusher. Then we're going in with some highlighter. This one is L'Oreal Iconic Glow, it's called. It looks like this. I actually ran out of highlights, so I had to go down the back and find an old one. And as you can see, it is pretty old. It also means it's not as efficient as highlights should be. So that's a little bit of annoying, but yeah, hell, I don't have another one. So I will take quite a bit on the brush here to make it give me just a little bit of color. And I'm just going to put it up here. Just a little bit up here. Just to bring a little bit of shimmer on. Sometimes I does do it up under in the whole area here around, and also at top of my eyes, just to bring that more shimmer. but it depends on what mood I am, really. Just before I'm gonna do the powder, I'm just gonna go in with some eyeshadow here. So again, when I was in the drawer and finding my old ones, I found this old patch here who is from, they are from Elf, and it looks like this. It's a very old one, but it does have the colors that I'm using the most, which is the light brown and light and dark brown. And it's the colors I'm using the most. So I still got a bit of a cold, so if you hear me sniffing away, I still got a bit of a cold. I'm using a brush like this, who's like a fluffy but still a little and very controllable brush it's called. And I'm just using in the lighter color here, just to go in and then just take the whole eyeball here and just color it in. If you can see, it's just whoopsie like this, going in, just to get a bit of shadow on here. Now some people can really close their eyes completely and put on. I can't do that unless I'm literally putting my finger on. So it's important to get into the crease up here, so to get in, and I literally have to close both my eyes and then just feel what I'm doing. This does not give me a lot of color on the eyes, and that wasn't really my intention either. It was just to bring in a little bit of a light color. After all, I'm not going anywhere particularly. So that's really all I'm gonna put on the eyelids anyway. I'm gonna put a little bit of brow gel on, and this one is called Night Face Brown Set. It does have a bit of a tint to it. I find as I grew older, I would need a bit more of a definition in my brows. Now, so I literally just run it through a little bit. I don't have a big need for filling in, but it does need to stop hitting under the brows. So let me just see if I can fix this one. Oh, there we go. So it does give a little bit of a definition, and it does bring a little bit of tint to the brows, but not a lot. And it lasts forever, this one. I will curl my lashes. Now I actually does every 8th week get a lash curl and tint done professionally. I does have very long lashes, not as long as when I was younger, but before I used glasses, but I still does have quite a long lash, so I don't need so much. It's very coming up close to my lash lift, and when it does that, I'm gonna use like a mascara with some lash lift in it, and if not, I'm not just using the general mascara. So this one is the Sweet Lash Lift in black, and I think it does a very good job. Now the wand on this one is like very small, and you really have to be careful putting it on, so that you get your lashes separated. But I actually think it does quite a good job, and it does give me quite fully lashes, even though it's coming up close to my lash lift. And I just give a little bit of color on the below lash, and I really focus on the one up here, the upper lash rather than the lower lash. So just running it through a few times just to give that extra definition, and then just with the top of the wand here, just running over my lower lashes just to give them a little bit of a definition, so that it doesn't look like I only have lashes on the top. I just go over them couple of times until I think they have the color and the length that I want. So, do not ever pump your wand back down in your tube when you're using it. That's bringing air down in your tube, and that helps to dry out your mascara, and you don't want your mascara to dry out. You actually want it to be as liquid as possible, then it's easiest to control. I will of course link all the products or something similar below, so you can go top up if needed. Sometimes I does use eyeliner in the bottom of the eye and maybe even a flick, but I'm not gonna do that today. What I will do is lipstick. Now this is an old lipstick. It's called number 11, and Raspberry Effect they're called, and number 11. But it is just a general nude brownish lipstick. As you can see, it doesn't really have a lot of color to it, so that would be my everyday choice. Yeah. And as you can see, it doesn't really give that much of a color to the lip. It just gives a little bit of lip definition, really. That's it. The last thing I'm going to go in with here, that's the powder thing. This is also a Rimmel Countdown Stay Matte powder. So again, from the local pharmacy, you can really find most of your products down there, or you can go to Amazon. As you see, it's almost used up, and I does have a punch here. I do like to use the punch on it, at least for just the start of the day. Then very often coming through to the rest of the day, I will just be using a brush or a sponge or whatever I have available. But I just give around where I have put in some definition, which means also down here along the jawline where I did not put any bronzer or blush or anything else, just to give a little bit of a definition to some extra definition to the face. That was kind of most of it. So now we're just going to put on some spray. And there I use the Elf makeup spray mist and set spray, and then just put a little bit of that on just to make it last for a little more than an hour or so, whatever. I always shake it first, and then I just make sure I don't get it in my eyes or my mouth. So that also brings some moisturize back into to my face, and I think very often when I'm doing my makeup that it all just feels like it's drying out when I'm putting makeup on. So yeah, that's about it. So that was the makeup of the day. As you can see, I'm looking a little bit more live now when I have some face on here. So to finish off my my look, I'm just gonna grab a blazer with a little bit of color to it, not lots, but it has a little bit of a rosé light, light, very light pink brownish color to it. And there we go. The rest of my outfit is a General Brighton stripe blouse and my black leather pants, and then my black leather boots. And then I'm just gonna grab my my bag, which is another black River Island, there's a Lady Dior dupe with a golden handle. And yeah, that's really it for my outfit. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and click the bell notification icon. Share it with any friends you might have that you think can find this useful. And then I wish you a great day and a great week. And then I'll see you next week. Bye bye.